welcome back to the 240Drift. Yeah, it's been a while since we've posted. You know, a lot of shit's happened between some health issues with family, some major projects that I'm helping the folks with, and I've just not really had time to be making content for the 240Drift, and I'm sorry, guys. But some things have changed recently. So last time that we had updated you guys, we had bought the BMW. We had also bought that 240, and we didn't really give any updates as to what was going on with those. So the BMW, it was a pretty good car. That engine was strong. However, the clutch was going out, and I had looked into it, and the clutch was not something I wanted to do at the time, just because this was starting to get into a larger project. So this wasn't something I was ready to commit to. So I ended up selling that to a college kid, and he got a screaming deal on it. Of course, I mean, the car was basically perfect aside from that clutch kind of going out, and it still daily drove just fine. So that's the BMW, and I do regret selling that, but you know, things have to move forward. All right, so on to the black 240. That was the Turbo KA twin cam. That car was also a lot of fun and idled nasty. We have a clip of that. I'll probably put it in here. Sounded like a dragster until you revved it up. Then it sounded like every Civic running through your neighborhood at 3 in the morning. So after that, we figured out that the biggest problem with that car that stopped me from advancing through motorsports and into drifting with that was the frame rail on the driver's side, where it came from the engine bay underneath the firewall towards the back of the car, right by the footwell. That was gone, completely rotted out. So we ordered the frame capping kit to at least add some structure to it and make it still a drivable car. And once we put it in there, we had it welded in professionally. Once we put it in there, we looked at the car, we looked at the weld job. It seemed solid. However, drifting puts a lot of stress on the chassis. I'm sure you already know that that's not something that we're willing to do, because I don't want to end up on the track and have my frame rail snap and be that guy out on the track. So this was another car that we fixed up the best we could. We made sure that it was disclosed that the frame rail was capped and was completely gone underneath, and that went off to another budding S-chassis enthusiast who was going to put in a bigger turbo, and eventually he was talking about SR swapping it. I still haven't heard any updates about that car. I have him added on socials, and I haven't seen anything yet, but, you know, fingers crossed that he ends up doing what he wants with it. So that sums up the two cars that we had before. I've gone through a ton of cars also. I mean, the red SN95 Mustang I had, that would pop like crazy on D-cell. That was fun, but the 2-valve Mustang engine through those years, I think mine was like an 01 with a 99 powertrain swap or something. That 2-valve design was just really limiting. Also had the yellow S-chassis, the S13 with the S15 front end on it. That was a really fun car, but also got sold. I just didn't really feel inspired with that car, and it was almost too nice to drift. And I think that really catches you guys up on where we've been with past projects. And now we're sitting in the next project, the 86 Mazda RX-7 with the injected 13B. It is an automatic right now. However, the previous owner is just heart of gold guy. He's bringing up the stuff to manual swap the car this weekend. So that should all be there. He's got the new body harness, transmission, all the linkages, the pressure plate. He says I will need a clutch, but I mean, of course. Yeah, all that stuff. He got the manual transmission out of a car that had been drifted, a BMW with a full RX-7 drivetrain. He's got all the parts, and we're gonna manual swap it over the winter. Hopefully getting it done sooner than later. As far as the actual car, there's maybe one piece of body trim missing. There's a couple rust holes in the hood, and we were concerned about the sunroof here, but it rained like hell last night, and there's no water in the car, so it's not an immediate concern. The windshield's cracked, but we picked this up for honestly, he was kind of giving it away. It was a really good deal. One crack in the dash, but it starts, warm restarts as well, which is good. Runs, drives, everything. The back brakes are questionable at best, but it's going to be 5-lug swapped eventually, which will include actual brake rotors instead of the drum brakes that are currently in the back. Let's see, past that, we got some lightened rotors to go with it. Well, he says they're lightened. I believe him because you can. I'm not sure that the camera will pick it up, but it looks like you can see machining marks all through here, and along here as well. So we got a couple of those as well. Extra $50 or something for it. We don't know what it's worth. But yeah, as far as the interior, I mean, this car is kind of a time capsule. It's really cool. Yeah, running it around. Rotaries are something else, and that's what I was hoping for with this project, and so far it's pretty fulfilling. We have a couple of rust holes in the actual floorboard, one underneath the seat I'm sitting in. We're actually bridging it with a 2x4 right now just to maintain some integrity, but the seat back here will be bucket swapped instead. I have a Sparco seat, I believe, up in the room, so gonna be able to put that in. 4-point harness, or 5-point harness as well. Eventually it will need to be caged, but that will come at a later date. Yeah, we have some big plans for this car. Maybe a turbo swap, but there's a big project on the way for this car, and I'm excited to share this with you guys. So, I think, oh, one more thing. We actually also got a new towing rig. So we got a brand new Rice trailer, like 2022 model. We picked it up last year. Tow's amazing. Hauled this thing 3 hours, a little under 3 hours through the rain to get it home. Not a problem. We also picked up a towing truck as well. This has been my daily as well. It's a 99 Ford E350 with the 7.3 Power Stroke. It's an extended van, tons of room on the inside, pulls anything really well. Of course, it doesn't have any power to speak of because it's a Power Stroke 7.3. They are super underbuilt, but it's going to run forever, basically. So, yeah, that catches you up on what we've been doing here at 240Drift. We will be posting more content from that US Air meet along with some other meets into compilations. We will be posting more updates about the car as we get the manual swap stuff, as we're starting to do the manual swap, as we're starting other projects along this car, like repairing the speedometer cable, which was hanging below the car, and 5-lug swapping it. That'll be a fun project too. So we'll keep you up to date on all of this stuff, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Everything is appreciated, and yeah, we hope to see you guys again.